Hello and welcome. Yig here. Today we're looking at Quasimorph. This is a game that has been occupying so much of my time. I bought it after playing the demo a while back when it came out on the early access, which it just came into like last week or the week before, somewhere there. Can't quite remember. It is a super hard game. You will die constantly. You have clones, and we'll kind of explain all that. Right now, one of the things I wanted to explain was if you try this game, one of the first things you can do is just hit that spacecraft button, and there's some stuff you can produce. I don't have a slot that I can show you that in, but it allows you to make a bunch of stuff like medicines and stuff and food that will help you out a lot. You gotta drink real quick. So that is actually part of one of the this is part of almost your meta progression too, because your troops are clones. And then you have your inventory, and for the most part, most of this stuff is actually just stuff I brought back from missions. But there's some stuff, like I made these in the factory. I made a weapon or two in here. I made a bunch of medicine and stuff like that, so all my little troops are good. So, let's take a look. We have a couple missions. Each of these missions, you kind of get who it's for, who it's from. We're going to go ahead and take this mission. This is a sabotage mission, and we're actually going to sabotage ourselves. So, when this game first came out, it was extremely hard and very unforgiving. And if you lost your first character, he was very likely... You just basically had to start over. There was nothing you could do. We're going to pick the Scouts of Hades. Scouts of Hades is honestly the best early one because you get two things that are really helpful when you're first starting. All resist +5, and there it is. And bodybuilding. And bodybuilding gives you extra health. So as a character with Scouts of Hades, you can actually end up with a little bit more of a buffer before you die. And in a game like this, that can be incredibly helpful. You also get experience for just shooting at people and a bunch of other things that you're constantly going to be doing anyway. So, we are actually going to forego all of this equipment because we're getting this man killed. Let's give him a bandage just in case. That should do it, right? One singular bandage. Alright, he is equipped. Alright, so he has his bandage. We are going to get him killed, and the reason we're going to get him killed is I want to show you one of the things that they changed since the beginning of it. So, we'll enter this mission, get him murderized, and then come back to the same mission after we get him murdered. So, our naked man here is a clone. He's first level because he's never been out anywhere. So we're going to wander real quick till we find ourselves a door, and then we're going to go get ourselves murdered. There is a system down here where if I hit Z, it goes to a crouched guy. That means you're in stealth mode. Stealth mode means that like changing things in your inventory doesn't cost you a turn. You should almost always be in stealth mode if you're not in combat. If you're in combat, then stealth mode is not what you want. You'd actually want either normal or run. And run, as you can see there, it cuts down in your accuracy. You can't go into your inventory, but you get to attack 3 times per turn. So oftentimes you can take everything in the room out before they can get to you. If you look at let me go back over it. The normal one, your actions per turn are 2, and your action cost is 2 calories. And on this one, you are 1 calorie. You notice hitting enemies. What that means is they'll show up on the other side of walls, and you'll see that as we go along. And doing things in your inventory doesn't cost you anything, and interactions such as looting don't cost you a turn. So you generally want to be on the sneak mode until you see people. And then once you're engaged, so for example, these guys right here, then you would want to go up to 2 or 3. I'm going to go up to 2 because the accuracy penalty is kind of steep. Or we could just go up to 3 because I want these guys to just maul him. Oh no! Whatever will I do? They're hurting me. Let's punch him to death. Okay. We're at 39 hit points. I think I started with 50, so you know. Am I really gonna punch this man to death? That would be funny if I did. Oh nope, that was us. Alright. So now we've died. On release day, this would have been time to restart if this was like your first mission on release day, you would literally have had to have deleted your save and restarted. Now, we have a bonus here. Let's head on back to the exact same thing. And we are going to select the exact same person, too. This person is terrible with guns. Absolutely awful. Usually the best with the Eclipse blades because of a bunch of the melee talents, and this person being, they have a lot of stomach space, and they're not great with the gun. We're still going to go with we'll go with Eclipse blades. Why not? Doesn't really matter. So what I wanted to show you was every time you die now, you will get given this little kit right here. And this kit is an emergency case. This is supposed to get you back on your feet and make sure you can continue the game without having to restart it. So what you do is you disassemble it, and it gives you all of this. So now you're no longer stuck. So if you did start this or played this around the release or heard about it around the release, one of the major things that was causing a lot of problems for people, completely fixed. This makes it absolutely great. And this gun is amazing. This gun is one of the best guns in the early game. Like, most of these guns that you started out with are awful comparatively. Like, this gun is cool because it has a silencer, but that's it. And you can get in some stealth into this game. Let's get back into a mission here, and I'll show you the pistol here. And I really like this pistol. The pistol's great. It has two fire modes. It has a large magazine for a lot of the guns in this game at 14. And if you look over here, you can see both of your fire modes. S on keyboard will swap you between your two weapons. That is between these two slots. And then you have two fire modes on there as well. You can do a stabby stab stab prison shanking, or you can do a normal attack. On this one, you can do a single fire mode, or you can trade 5% accuracy for doing 2 shots per. And if you have someone, not this character, I don't remember what this character's name is. If you have someone who is a good shot, oftentimes that double fire is super good. I generally will put it on for every person just because it makes things a lot easier, because you tend to drop a lot of people in. Ooh. We are happy. We are in luck today. So most of what you get is going to be loot. One of the things I will tell you is use your loot. Don't try to hold on to everything. This is great. We got a nice backpack with a lot more space. If you've ever seen like the Chronicles of Riddick, that's kind of how I run my clones here. They get to keep what they kill. So if she comes back, if we make it back, I'll play for about 10 more minutes or so. If we're not done with the mission, it's no big deal. But if we go back, basically she'll lose everything in the inventory except for like basically the gun, any armor she found, just very shiny backpacks, and vest slot items. Because vest slot items, I haven't found a blueprint for one, and you can find blueprints for items. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me get moving here so we can actually look around. You can find blueprints for a lot of items, and those items are kind of another part of your meta progression, because the blueprints will let you build some things that might otherwise be a little bit difficult. Like, you can build backpacks. Oh, hey, we got some guys. Oh, and I forgot to change my run speed, so we didn't see them, and we didn't really get a time. Oh, that 50% accuracy. She's just not great with a gun. If this gun wasn't so good, that would not have went. That really looked easier than it should have been. If it wasn't for that gun being so good, why am I not moving? Oh, because there's a thing in between me and there. Oh, hello, sir. All right. We'll just shoot you. We will try. Sometimes you'll want to change your stance. And like, as soon as you engage in combat, it's a really good idea to change to at least the middle stance so that you can act twice. Because the AI will typically only act once when it's moving around the room. But sometimes it'll actually like take 2 shots at you when it's standing next to you. One of the things you will find down here is a calorie meter. This is your calories, and that's this green line right here. And each character has a maximum. I don't think there's a way for me to show it to you in here, but that's what all this food is about. So, like, for example, noodles, it says plus 450. This character can actually hold 2,400 calories. So as you walk around, this bit goes down. And that's one of the things that prevents you from being able to explore an entire station early on and check everything out that is there. And the backpack is also one of your big... I won't say it's a frustration point, because I don't think it's actually a frustration point. Your backpack is also a place where you can use rags, by the way, to stabilize wounds. So if you ever run out of all your bandages and splints, you can actually disassemble this, and it will most likely disassemble into one of each of these. Rags and threads. Threads you don't need, at least not in here, but you will end up wanting to grab some eventually for crafting purposes. There's two types of crafting too. The spaceship, which I told you about, and then there's also in-run crafting. So if you get these items in a run, which I've crafted cans of meat. Sometimes in other areas where the quasimorphosis thing is going on, and I will leave that to you, for you to find out what that is. This eating raw meat can be very unhelpful. One of the characters can ignore infection. Sometimes you get an infection from this. So you could take 3 chunks of meat, though, and empty can, and make canned food. And that purifies it for you, basically, so that you can eat it. Those are some things that will definitely help you out in the beginning. See those? This is what I was talking about the sneak, and how it says, okay, notices hidden enemies. Now, we know there are 4 people in there. And we're going to reload, because when we open the door, at that point, that's when you want to adjust your stance down here. And try not to play this character who can't hit anything. Actually, she's great in melee. Oh, hey, what is that? I have never seen one of those before. Okay, so all 4 enemies that I knew were up are now dead. We'll eat that. That increases the your calorie consumption in that sprint mode is a lot higher. I didn't actually realize it came with the penalty. So when she's shooting, I should probably not... Let's get ourselves that. Reload done. When she's shooting, I should probably not be in the sprint mode, but I should probably be in the other one. So we'll disassemble a couple of these. Like I said, I'm not going to keep these. I have about 50 threads in my spaceship. I feel like a hobo in my spaceship, like I'm collecting junk. Ooh, nice. We got a helmet. Alright, so usually when you come in, you'll find weapons, you'll find armor, you'll find all kinds of stuff. These, by the way, over here are one of your interactables. This is an auto dock, and if there's something wrong with you, if you're like wounded, and the H button, like you can get a fractured arm, stuff like that, and that's what... Each one will follow a description, and there are things that heal it best, but you don't always have to heal it with just that. So, for example, this one heals pierce wounds, frostbite, does it really good, and it gives you a little bit of regen. Bandage is great. This one, fractures, regen, and so it's not super important, but it's kind of good to pay attention to that. By the time I get like halfway done with this, we're not even going to get through one floor, because I'm like describing everything in the universe. If you drink, you lower your thingy. Medical glue is actually really cool, because it basically does everything. And you can make them, but they're kind of expensive. Okay, we're going to take one step forward, and then we're going to go into our secondary mode. Miss completely. Oh, please. This is how you die. Oh, ow, ow. Things are going wrong. I think this is how we die the second time. Oh my god, lady. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna... Oh! Wait. Oh, we died. Okay, well, it would proceed, less like that spontaneous death. They have actually fixed a lot of those things, and you gotta kind of watch out on this menu, by the way. If you're kind of idling, don't idle at this part of the screen, because this timer is the actual time. So if you see like this takes 14 more hours, this actually will start taking time off of here. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily something you'd want, because these like time where it says time remaining on the fourth down there, that's how long it lasts, and you're burning that time if you're on this menu. If you're in this menu, or if you are in this menu, that time does not proceed forward. So if you are doing those things, I wasn't at my greatest here. I do apologize for that. Probably cut it off right there, because that's kind of a good look at it. It's meant to be a hard game. You're meant to die. Again, if you die now, it is not the end of your save game. You have these that come out, and you can just use them to get a full set. But normally when I go in now, because one of the best pieces of advice I've seen about this game is don't hoard your stuff. It looks like I'm hoarding, but what I mean by don't hoard your stuff is just take this vector. Just take the gear you got in there. When I said I have them keep what they kill, if you look at, like, okay, we'll go into this one, and then we will was that what? Which one was that? Silver resistance. Okay, so if I say picked Isabella here, she's the one who can actually eat without getting infected, and you look at her, she's got some basic stuff on. No big deal. And then if we chose, let's do that again. If we were to choose Francis Reed, who has been one of my very consistent, this character's actually finished off probably 5 or 6 different things. He's wearing full armor in every slot. He's got a vest that holds 2 grenades or usables. He's got, like I said, full armor. The only thing he doesn't have is like a knife, and that's because I usually don't bring them with this character, because he shoots better than anything else. And when I come in, I will give him, so for an example, loadout, I would send him in with, I would split, and this is a good loadout for pretty much anything. So I will actually show you what that loadout looks like, and that way, hopefully, if you do play this game, and I really do recommend you play this game, because it is very fun. It's hard, but it is very fun. And everything on here, I can kind of explain what each one does real quick, and why I take the things that I do. And I'm going to divide that one by 2, and there we go. And that's going to put all that down there. Okay. So these 3 items gives you an initial inventory. So if you go into the first room and you get hurt, you've got a bandage, you've got a splint, and you have antibiotics. When I was getting murdered, if you noticed up here, one of the symbols looked like a little, well, it looked like a amoeba, a parasite, a paramecium, I believe. I can't remember. I'm probably wrong on that one. It looked like a bacteria, basically, with cilia around it and everything. And that means you're infected. This is one of the best infection removers possible. You can actually produce this on your ship for free, I believe, but it just takes a long time to make a bunch of them. This would be typically what I would take medicine-wise, and then for ammo, I would take, in this case, I'm using the Hydra Tactical, so I would take 1 stack of this 9mm bullets, and then I would supplement it with basically, all the way down here, 2 pieces of food, so that way I know that I can get through the first half of the first level and have everything work. If you remember to use the movement system so that you're constantly sneaking until you're in combat, and then you're using either the 2 actions and being accurate, or the 3 actions and spamming, if you remember to use that system and you use both, and you use the equipment you pull out of missions, I guarantee your time will be much easier. My very beginning in this game was very frustrating because I didn't kind of pay attention to that, but now that I've got them, like this character who's just getting more and more armored every time. Like, the character's just... well, we'll land. Actually, didn't mean to do that, but hey. Alright, so this has been Quasimorph. I really am excited about this game. The guy is... the developer is all kinds of responsive. Like, he's been listening, and any things that were... there were some things that kind of one-shot you real quick at one point. those got wiped out in a thing. So it is, if you like a challenging roguelite and you're willing to put up with a tiny bit of frustration occasionally, this is definitely a fun game. So, and that is also why it's eaten about 30 hours of my life since I started playing it. All right, thank you all for watching. I hope I see you back here for the next one, and have a great day.